Hello, wonderful intuitive artists and guests. I'm here with Carrie Roldan, certified intuitive artist and business BFF. And I'm Rachel Archelaus, founder of the Intuitive Art Academy. We are at it again. We are doing the live stream thing, loving this format and loving how we can connect with you on like a more intimate level. But again, please forgive any technical errors or glitches. We're still figuring out this system. So if you have any suggestions for us, definitely put it below. If you're joining us live, please comment, let us know you're here. And other than that, Carrie and I are just going to chat, do some drawings, catch up, and hopefully offer some valuable insight along the way, which tends to happen naturally.
Yes, it does. And I see that I'm pixelated, but oh well.
Just a little. We can actually hear you really clearly, so.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah.
I closed everything, but it's just going to be an awkward pixel day. So, how are you, Rachel?
I'm great. I feel like I'm catching my breath. Um, but I had a great morning. I did some yin yoga. I meditated. I visioned. And I actually had a really cool experience at the end of my meditation today. We've talked a lot about the vortex on this channel. So if you're not familiar, just search Vortex Abraham Hicks. It's like basically like the holding area for all the things you've ever asked for. Like if you could imagine what your most amazing, shining life would be, like you have it, it's real in your vortex. So anyway, I got this amazing glimpse into it at the end of my meditation, and it just felt so real. And the thing that really stuck with me was it felt like it was built on me allowing my creativity. That was the theme. It was like Intimate Alien was there. I was like a writer. It was a flash, but I felt all of that. And it just made me remember, like, oh, yeah, it's so easy. Just do what you want to do. Do only what you love, and that is the result. So it was a really great experience.
Well, you're going to make me yawn just thinking about it. And that's
Nice.
so interesting because, one, Rachel and I drew our vortexes not too long ago. We drew this, how does my vortex feel? And since we did these drawings, I've been feeling into my vortex more and more, which, I mean, we do, right? We enter the vortex anytime we're relaxed and feeling good and in this state of allowing. But I've been playing into like deliberately feeling into that. And that's what I was doing this morning too. After my meditation, I've been journaling and doing some like automatic writing. And that's what was coming up for me was like, oh, wow, I am here. What does it look like here? What does it feel like here? What else is here? Yeah, so I was doing that too this morning. So yay,
That's
us.
amazing. I love that.
Is it though?
Carrie has a name actually for herself that she's given herself and people have given her called a vision caster.
Yeah, that is true.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, ooh, what's my name?
Yeah, and you inspired me to do that very thing. So yeah, I guess it's not that amazing that we both did it, but it's pretty cool.
It's just neat. That's being, well, maybe we can talk about this. So I love being in sync. I love it when I like knowing there's comfort for me when something is going on to know like that it's going on for other people too. Or like, I like learning from people who are tuned into energy or astrologers or whatever who will say, oh, we're in this phase, so this is what's happening. There's something that I really like about that. Like there's more than just you, Carrie, who's feeling that. There's more than just you, Carrie, who's tuning into this right now. And so maybe that's just like a question for you, Rachel. Like, do you think it's just because we made that intention together? Or do you think that's as we as humans are evolving that more and more and more of us are deliberately tapping into our vortex?
It's both. We're, as far as I can tell, and from what I've experienced and heard from Intimate Alien and others, the universe is built on that like synchronicity, vibration. So like attracts like, right? So if there's a bunch of us doing something at the same time and a planet is in a certain place, like that can all sync together over and over again, right? It can create patterns, but it's us that's, our individual intention or vibration is the one kind of starting the chain effect, and then we're grouping together because like attracts like.
You got me yawning again, which I feel like I should explain.
Yeah.
So people don't think that I think Rachel's boring. I tend to yawn when I get like, I feel like it's when energy is moving or shifting, but it also tends to coincide with an epiphany. So yeah, I could be yawning this whole session. I'm going to do it again. So talk amongst yourselves.
Yeah. Well, I love the set behind me. I don't know if it was your last time fully or not. It might have been, but um, I love being surrounded by color, which is one of the reasons I love intuitive art. And I feel like when we interact with color on a daily basis, it just does something to us. Intimate Aliens from a really colorful place. We're from a really colorful place. There's colors all around us. I don't think that's a coincidence, right? I think, color has vibration and meaning. And, one of the biggest things I'm seeing right now in like the beauty guru YouTube space is those light therapy masks and goggles where like this one person has a little like almost glasses with a red light underneath it used to, I don't know, like lessen inflammation or something like that, or build collagen, probably all of the above. I just love that. So I don't know, maybe I'm interested in doing a drawing now just to carry the color theme going. I have my signature crayon pack here. Lots of colors on it.
Well, it's funny that you talk about color and it having vibration. And I'm happy to do a drawing with you. I had an interview with, who was I interviewing? Oh, Jean Berry. Did an interview with Jean Berry where she talked a lot about the vibration of colors and the texture of colors and like how much meaning we could derive from color. And she got me like, I don't know if I've just taken colors for granted, right? You think some are pleasing, some are less pleasing. I've heard the color associations with the chakras, and I've also heard that that's evolving and changing. And so it was interesting to have that conversation with someone who's so into colors and have her go so deep into just the feel of different colors, and then how that applies to us and what we do with intuitive art, where we're feeling into the personal meanings of colors to us. I love it.
Yeah, I love it too. I think that's my favorite part, is that we all have our own personal meanings, and like our higher self connects to us in a very personal way. So cool.
I've heard that too. Like when people talk about dreams, like dream interpretation, or how God speaks to you, right? Or how your higher self speaks to you, or how your team of angels speaks to you, or whatever it is that you're connecting to or believing in. And that they always do it symbolically in a way that we're going to get. And that's what I love about feeling into our colors with intuitive art, is knowing it's symbolic in a way that we're going to get.
Yeah. And it works through other people. So we should just say we, Intuitive Art Academy, just started offering sessions, online private sessions, that you can, an express clarity session if you want just a 20-minute dose of clarity on something, or a complete clarity session if you want 50 minutes and multiple drawings and action steps. And so we do have the link for that below. You can go check it out. It's half off right now. Oh my God, for the first week. It's absolutely wonderful. And your practitioner or certified intuitive artist will give you the clarity that you need. And they actually, it's just so cool how it works, like how the energy works with your higher self to give you the clarity in the way that you'll best be able to understand it and use it. So, quick plug for that. And I know it's just so exciting. We love growing and offering what we do in multiple ways.
Amen.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So, what should we draw on today? I mean, I feel like our theme has been the vortex and maybe manifestation. Um, what do you think? Anything you're excited about?
Yeah. Okay, let me think about this.
I just had one pop into my head. Sorry, I'm a mover. I'm gonna be moving around.
You move. Go for it.
I
What popped
do.
into your head?
How can I more freely allow my creativity? Or how can I allow my creativity to more freely flow?
That would got a yawn from me. Yes.
Okay.
That's such an important one for me, so I'm going to put it down because um, I've resisted creativity, so this is important.
All right. So, in case you didn't get that, how can I allow my creativity to flow more freely? Or something like that.
Okay, and I'm writing down today's date. I have been trying to make it September for like 3 weeks. Every time I write the date, I write 9 instead of 8. So
I almost just did that too. Well, 8 has always been a weird month. I don't know why, but I've always wanted to write 9 for this month. I don't know.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you ready to draw?
Ready to draw.
All right, let's do it. How can I allow my creativity to flow more freely? What'd you get?
Shall I decode?
Yeah, I heard you laughing at your drawing.
I did laugh at my drawing. I did. Actually, give me 1 second. I'm just going to grab something to show you guys.
Okay, sure. Meanwhile, I'll show you mine.
Okay. Oh, are you talking?
No, I was just showing my drawing.
Okay. So this is what I got, and then I'll show you what I picked up.
Ooh.
Yeah. This is black, and for me it means boundaries, but it's starting to mean focus as well, as in like there's a boundary on my focus, like I'm actually only focusing on one thing at a time. And there's green, which is my creativity color, and blue, which is my alignment color. And in the middle, because we do read colors that are created by overlapping. There's not even a word for this color, really. It's teal, and what it looks like. But to me, this is like when creativity and alignment meet for me, it's orgasmic. It's like powerful. And that's the place I identify as my best feeling. It is powerful. In fact, last year, I no, maybe beginning of this year, I did a drawing of what is my best feeling. And then somebody wanted to use it as his book cover. Like it's instant manifestation, powerful. And so how can I allow my creativity to flow more freely is focus on it, like focus on that intention of wanting that, but then, activate my alignment while I'm being creative and get to this power place. Ooh, so good. And I just wanted to show you that this was like my dream book. My dream, it's out there. It's a fairy tale for adults. It has art in it and poetry, like not something necessarily mainstream, but it's also the first time that I got like literary approval, like academic, I don't know how you'd even say it. I got a great review.
Like acclaim.
Acclaim, yes. Industry acclaim for just a passion project, right? I made it only for me, only because I had that power feeling in it. This is the feeling of the book, and that's the result I got. So I just had to show you guys that. All right, I'll tell you one more thing. It's really personal, but it's just so fun. You're going to love it. So my book designer is absolutely amazing and very intuitive. And I didn't know how to format this. Like there was a poem in the beginning that's more like an intro, right? It's not really part of the book. And I was like, I don't know how to put this in or set this. And so I gave it over to him. And then he created these pages where it says prologue, but it's in green. And then at the end of this poem, there's blue. So it just goes to show that the universe is here to delight us and surprise us and show us how powerful and amazing we are. And even in the tiniest little ways, they can just be so validating. So I had to throw that in.
I love that poem at the beginning is sandwiched. That is that feeling, right?
Yes.
And it's sandwiched between those two colors.
Yep.
So good. And when you said it's the first time I got critical acclaim and it's just a passion project, I just kind of want to hold the mirror up for you and be like, it wasn't just a passion project, right? It's all of our project, anything worthwhile, anything that we're supposed to put out in the world, right? We're not doing it for anybody else.
Yeah.
We're doing it because it's a passion project. And I mean, I don't know about you. That's my goal, is to live and breathe and only do passion projects, right?
Exactly.
To never have.
Yeah, but I think sometimes, and it's true even for me, even though, I mean, I'm surrounded by evidence of the contrary, sometimes I still segregate things of like, okay, I'm doing this just for fun and I'm doing this for work, right?
Yep.
Or I'm doing this just for fun and I'm doing this for money. Like,
yep.
Or I can see the potential in this and then I can actually count on this, right? We tend to do that. I'm no different. So it's just another reminder. Thank you for the mirror to notice when I'm doing that and cut it out.
And if we learn it, we've learned a lot of things from Intimate Alien, but if we learn anything, right, it's do only what you love. Yep. And I was with you for that whole process of you getting excited about the possibility of that book and getting the other person involved in the writing of it. And you were in love with it.
Yeah.
And you knew it was great. Then when you were like, this is so good. This is so good. You knew it was great, but you also didn't give a crap. Right? And that's where we want to be. When you know it's, I remember, I don't know how related this is, but I think it is related. So before I was engaged to my husband, I was talking to my best friend, and we hadn't talked in a while. It was in that phase of our life. I think she was married and had little kids, and I wasn't yet married. And so we weren't like talking as regularly as we used to. And she was asking me, how's it going? How's it going with Jim? And I was like, it's great. It's really great. We have so much fun together. He makes me laugh. Like, we'd been really good friends, so it was like, it's just easy, it's super fun, I love it, I love him, he's great. But I think if we broke up tomorrow, I don't think I'd care that much. And she was like, oh, you're gonna marry him. And it was that same feeling of like, yeah, it's amazing, it's great, it's so fun, and also I'm not attached to it. Like, and it worked out.
Yeah,
So
you're still married.
yeah. um but yeah, that's that same feeling of like, I'm passionate about this, this is so fun, and I'm totally not attached to like, I have to do this for money, right? Mm-hmm. Or it has to have a certain outcome.
Yeah, like this has to pay off somehow, or I can't do it. Yeah, because there's that pushing away feeling in there that keeps us away from what we're wanting in the first place.
Yeah,
I love it. All right,
so
what's yours all about?
This is interesting. So the color in the middle, that's my purple. Okay, here's the funny thing. Sometimes with intuitive art, I think I know what I'm going to draw. So I like start drawing it, and then my hand's like, no, we're not doing that. So that happened with this, where like I wanted to draw squiggles, and my hand was like, stop that right now. You're going to draw a spiral. So that was interesting. But my purple is wealth and luxury and divine guidance. And what it's been starting to mean to me is that wealth and luxury and richness, that's just a part of my divine purpose. And so it's interesting that came up as the first thing, and that's really what's dominating the drawing. But I think what it's saying to me is, get into that feeling, girl. Get into that feeling. And I think that's important for me, for creativity, because for the longest time I've told myself, right, I'll follow my creative pursuits once I've made my millions of dollars, right? Or and so I think this is another reminder of me, like, feel into that, girl. Like, imagine, know it's in your vortex, it's real, it's already there. Go ahead and get into that place now, right? That will help me be more creative, and to allow my creativity to flow more. And then what's shooting out of that, it's a literal arrow, and it's bright yellow. The arrow was actually the third thing I drew, but I like that well, I'll explain this in a second. It's shooting right out, and that is my smile, my relax, my ease, my happy, right? That is my flow, that arrow. And then this color, around the bottom, I don't know how well you can see it. It's like a dirty white. Mm-hmm. And that color is a new one for me that's been coming up, and it's my muddy white color. So white is purity. It's like being an open channel. And this color is a reminder that maybe I'm not being an open channel, and so it is just more and more and more allowing, right? It's leaning into more and more and more allowing. So I love that this spiral sort of cradled in that allowing, like, deliberately allow, deliberately tap into this feeling of remembering that wealth, that luxury, that, like, it's like a rich connection to the divine, that is my divine right. That is who I truly am. And as I can allow that, right, as I can be in that, what comes out of it, what is literally shooting out of it, is relax and ease and happy. And I'm guessing, I don't have a color for creativity, but I'm guessing that's it, right? Is creativity coming right out of it. So that feels really good.
Oh, I love that. And I just made a connection that might help you understand that a little bit more. Okay. My mint green color, which is not in the set that I'm using at the moment, I'm just using what's on our color sheets. My mint green is wealth and ease. And that's kind of what you drew, wealth and ease.
Yes.
I love that. And so, but the root of my green is creativity, like the green. So, yeah, right?
Yes. Yes, I felt like last time we had this conversation, I was like resistant and trying to understand things. And this is just like, oh, duh. I've connected wealth and ease and creativity, but actually, like they're connected in my intellect, but in my energy, they have not been connected. And you just saying that, like, that makes so much sense.
Yeah, well, creativity we can only let that flow when we're in the receiving mode, when we're open and allowing. So it makes sense that it's all going to come in together. It's all the same thing.
So, can we talk about creativity?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what I want to say about it is I think there's a lot of us, myself included, who would put creativity in a box,
Mm-hmm.
that think creative pursuits look like intimate aliens wall behind you,
Mm-hmm.
right? That creative pursuits look like doing art, or um, I'm trying to think of painting or sewing, or like, I don't know, crafty things. Um, and I don't necessarily enjoy doing those things. And so I guess what I'm asking for you is to like help.
You're there. I don't know. Something happened. Now it says offline, but it says live inside of where we are. Maybe I'm not cut out for this. I'm usually really good at technology, but these two things working together is awful weird. All right, well, it says live. It's got to be live somewhere. So, this is part 2 of Carrie and I's live stream from Monday, August 26th. And we're talking about creativity. And Carrie just asked how to reframe creativity if you're not into like crafting and doing art and stuff like that, right? Oh, I can't hear you for some reason.
I know the reason, because I was muted.
Okay, now I can hear you.
I've been talking for quite some time now. Yes. Okay. This drawing just told me that wealth and abundance and divine guidance and creativity and the relaxed, happy feeling that I want, right? They're all connected. And I know that intellectually. And yet I have a lot of resistance around it. Probably comes from, right, being productive or being creative, right? The idea that they're separate. And always wanting to be productive. So help me, because my brain understands that they're not different, but my energy wants them to be knit together.
Because, my friend, you are a creator. We're creating all of this, right?
Yep.
Every single thing we see, we're creating, not through our actions here on earth. That's not how we create anything. That's how we allow things. Let that sink in. Oh my gosh. It's hitting like my butt, like going down on my body. It feels so good. We're creators, so we are creative beings, regardless of whether we do art or sew or anything. We're creating all of this. We're creating our lives, our friends, our circumstances, our bank accounts, our beautiful pots of glitter that we can buy from amazing companies who will make it for us. Right? We're creative beings. We couldn't be any more creative even if we tried.
And we're creating our frustration or our, right, all the other stuff that we wish we weren't creating.
Mm-hmm. Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
Can you say that sentence again if you remember it that you said at the beginning?
That we're
I said, go ahead.
that we're all creators. We're
Uh, you said something. Oh, it was the allowing. Explain the difference, because
yes.
I heard it, but I couldn't quite catch it. So
Yeah.
tell me
Okay.
again.
So this is absolutely how Abraham Hicks would describe it, how Intimate Alien would describe it. And so I've just kind of noticed that, yes, that fits my life, but I didn't necessarily make this up myself. I've observed it and I'm using another person's words. So basically, by us being alive and, coming into this life having intentions of what we want to experience and seeing the world around us and developing preferences, like I like gray t-shirts and not black t-shirts. I like pink hair and not platinum hair, like whatever. I like certain things, you like certain things. And by just observing and being here, we are creating because we're noticing what we want and because we are mostly vibrational beings, mostly non-resistant beings, mostly able to instantly manifest whatever we want. We create everything we prefer. So we're not just humans here. We are always connected to our bigger vibrational selves. And so that bigger vibrational self is living, manifesting instantly what it is we prefer. We're directing the show. The non-resistant part of us is living it out full force. It doesn't, when you're just energy, there's no difference between a diamond ring that's worth $50 million or like a glass of water, right? It's all the same energy. It's all the same materials. So we've already created it all. Every time you've like looked at a house and said, oh, that's really amazing. Like part of that is up there, but in like the best, most amazing puzzle piece for you. So it's an active cache, it's updated every moment to what you want and in the perfect configuration. So the creating is done. Abraham would say the contrast helps you create. So everything in life, whether you like it or you don't, you're stuck in traffic, you're wishing for no traffic, you create no traffic. So the creating is done. All that's done. The bigger vibrational part of us is instant with no resistance. It's all done. But what we do here, because we do have resistance, we feel limited. We feel like there's a difference between our creative pursuits and our work pursuits for money. We feel the difference. We make all this stuff up because we observe what other people have done. We haven't really yet allowed ourselves to know that we're that bigger vibrational creator. So there's a lag time to what we can allow in. And so the purpose of our actions is to follow the inspiration that we get to allow what we want to be here. So how do we allow what we want to be here? We have to be in vibrational harmony with it. We have to be a match to it. That's kind of how we opened up this call on the part one. Right? If we're a match to what we've asked for, there's no resistance there. Like attracts like. But if we think we can't have it, we can't have it. That's not like. So our higher vibrational self, our extended self, is constantly sending us signals of how to match what we want. And it's doing that in the form of our intuition and inspirational nudges like, oh gosh, it's really time to publish this book. It's really time to do that. It's really time to make products. Like, ooh, wouldn't that be fun? And it's always going to feel good. Our inspirations are always going to feel exciting and good or curious and like we're being called. And that's how we know it's from our higher self and it's leading us to our manifestations. So that's way different than thinking, oh, I have to work today because I have to make blah, blah, blah. That's trying to make something happen and working outside of inspiration. Not going to do anything, really. it's not going to bring us to where we want to go, at least. So does that make sense? Because that's like, we could go on a whole nother route there.
Well, I like what you're saying, because I think for me, right, like there's, and this is changing as I lean more and more into, right, as I'm doing the work that I'm doing now, like feeling my way into my vortex and all of that. But in the past, I would think there would be this drudgery on, I know that doing something creative will help me allow. So, I guess I'll have to do something creative right now. Right? Like, and that actually never helped me to allow.
Yeah, because the vibration with which you were doing it wasn't a creative vibration, right?
And it was like, because I was thinking that the only way that I could be creative was to like whip out a coloring book or do some scrapbooking or do some things that like I wasn't inspired to do, but fell in the category of creative. Instead of, maybe it would be really creative for me to like look at my budget a different way, right? That like come to my budget from a different approach. Or I'm not saying I really want to do that.
Whatever was inspired wouldn't necessarily be a creation that we're used to here.
Yeah. So just sort of like, it's funny how even creativity, we can put it in a box, right? Like,
oh yeah, we can put anything in a box. I think we're really good at that as people.
So thank you. It just frees me up to think about, because like I love writing, I love journaling, but I'm also creative in the way that I deal with people, right? Like I'm creative in the way that I might approach a situation, which isn't me sitting down with pastels and paper and saying, okay, now's my creative time. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
So yeah, thank you.
When I was first starting to give intuitive art readings, my creativity color would come up a lot, and I would be looking at the person I'm reading for, and I would know if I say the word creative, they're not going to get it, right? Like you, it would bounce off of them because they don't feel resonant with that word. And so I used to call them creative problem solvers, right? Because they'd be excited to solve the problem and they'd be letting their inspiration flow in that way. Where as the, creative, they wouldn't think like, oh, well, I don't, pick up a coloring book or anything. So yeah, I totally hear what you're saying.
And I should say there's nothing wrong with, right now there's nothing wrong with using painting.
Of course not. No, but it's personal, right? We all have preferences. Yes. So if that's not your preference, it's not going to do you much good.
Well, could it? I'm thinking like
forcing yourself into it. No, but if you're like curious about it, sure.
Or I'm thinking about a time when a friend invited me to one of those like painting classes where everybody paints the same object. And I only did it because it was a fundraiser for her kids' baseball team or something. And I went with a good attitude. I went being excited to be surrounded by the other women, but I could have really given a flying F about painting. But then in the doing of it, right, I found that creative openness, that meditative state from resistance. Are you still there?
Yeah.
Oh, there you are.
And that's right.
I was going in a place of enjoyment.
Resistance. Right? You manifested that invitation, whereas you wouldn't have picked up a paintbrush on your own.
Oh no.
But you allowed yourself to go through that and you found a place of peace in that. But so the path of least resistance, that's what our higher self is giving us all the time, little kernels to it, because it's steering us around our resistance. So that story is perfect.
I'm so grateful for that too, the steering around the resistance. Like the path of least resistance isn't like the least resistant path possible, right? It's based on your particular resistance in your particular situation. It's the best shot to get to where you want to go.
Yeah.
I love that.
Me too. I'm very grateful for it because we have resistance, right? There's kind of no getting around that. We're here we're here to experience certain things that we don't like, or, we're here to observe other people. So it's just kind of how it is. But luckily, we're never disconnected from our source of infinite intelligence and wisdom. And we can just kind of keep our ear out for our intuition and for where we're being guided.
Which reminds me of something that I had going on this morning where I recognized that I felt really passionate about something. And that passion, I found the passion out of frustration, right? Like someone else was behaving in a way that I was frustrated by. And I recognized, and this happens with pet peeves a lot, right? They tend to reveal your values. They reveal your priorities, like something that really gets under your skin. You recognize, like, why does this get under my skin and that doesn't? Oh, because this thing, right, is something of great importance to me. So anyways, I just recognized, like, part of the reason why I was feeling so frustrated and resistant was because I wasn't I was taking like the victim role. I was not owning my role as creator of the situation. I wasn't owning my power to be able to have what I wanted in that situation. Now I can't remember where this conversation started, Rachel, but resistance, right? I found my resistance in like frustration and pissed offedness. But then in that pissed offedness, that helped me realize what's really important to me and how I wanted, like I recognized like, oh, I'm pissed at this other person, but I'm also pissed at myself for the way I'm behaving in this, right? The not owning my power, and I can shift it like that. And sure enough, like the minute I recognize that shift, and then things just worked out.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Yeah, because you're the creator. And your energy, where you're vibrating at, your mood, is what allows whatever it is happening to happen.
And this is the thing that still gets me, that I'm still excited about. Whatever we are experiencing, is experiencing the right word? Whatever we're feeling, wherever we are vibrationally, we're creating more of that.
Yes.
That gets me every time. Every time. Like this morning when I was realizing I'm pissed at this person and I'm totally justified at being pissed. And then I was like, do I want to stay here and feeling pissed and justified? Because I'm creating more of that right now.
Mm-hmm.
Or do I want to reclaim my power and shift it and get what I really want? And I was like, okay, I'll do that. But it's that it took that realization, like, I'm just going to keep making more of this if I keep feeling this way.
Yeah. Yeah, it takes a level of maturity, like there are times when I'm not feeling great and I want to still be pissed. Like I want to still feel bad, like because we have that momentum going and it feels good to be in momentum. It feels comforting to be in momentum. And so it takes a lot to realize, well, no, I really don't want to create more of this. So let me like snap out of it, But we absolutely can. We can put ourselves in any state that we want to be in. It might take a little while. We can't always jump from like anger to joy. It's not always that easy to break momentum, but we can get there if we're willing to focus on how we feel.
Well, I'm freaking grateful for that. It gets easier, right? In my drawing, that color of more and more allowing,
Mm-hmm.
it gets easier and easier the more I do it, and the more the more I believe what I believe. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah. The more you allow yourself to know what you believe, what you want to believe as well, because you believe a lot of things that you don't want to believe too.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And you show yourself that what you want to believe is real by doing stuff like this, by changing your state and then things working out, by doing intuitive art and seeing like, wow, this is amazing. This works. So I love it.
Can I just say intuitive art and having this, so I'm going to plug your product right now, Rachel.
Okay.
This book is so flippin' helpful. So if you don't have one, I think you can get it at intuitiveart.com, but for some reason, I had dedicated notebooks before, but having my color sheet right there and then having have the question and the date at the top and do your drawing, like this is so helpful to me to have them all in the same place and to go through it. And it is like a journal for me. Like I get to go back to them, sure, but also just like um this is actually an interesting, like I just did a drawing that looks almost exactly like this, right? I just did almost this
Oh
exact
yeah,
same,
look at that.
right? And so that's like, okay, there's a message here for me, right? The only difference is this one has, instead of that allowing, it has grounding, right?
Mhm.
Which probably at that time I needed to go through a grounding practice to get to that place of allowing. Like I just think it's so magical to have them all in the same place and to be able to go back and do what I'm just doing now, like find the theme, find the messages, get the messages deeper. But yeah, I'm so grateful to have the answers to my questions in front of me and be able to go back to them and get more from them. I love it.
Thank you. Yeah, I
Yeah.
love it too. I use mine as well. Um, because it's handy. You know, I've been doing this for 26 years. Wow. And um yeah, wow. And I have, gosh, countless notebooks. And until this, I would always forget to write down my question. You know, I can go through even my most recent one that I'm still using because I use both. There's barely a question in there. And it's just frustrating because I wanted to remember everything. I like going back, I hang them up sometimes. But if you don't write it down, you really do forget because they're just scribbles. You know, and it's hard to decode without the question because it could mean pretty much anything unless you have the context of the question. So that's why we created it. Jennifer helped me design it and create it. My sister, she's a really great graphic designer, which we're figuring out. And yeah, anyway, it's at intuitiveart.com. You can go check it out. And,
Yeah.
you
And I
know,
think the reason I was saying that, oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off,
that's okay.
is
Go ahead.
believing what I believe. This is a good way for me to go back and like let what I knew, that epiphany, that clarity, that moment that I got, right? Sometimes that's hard to go back and find. But when you have it right in front of you, like I just keep going back to this one, right? Because this is an important, powerful message to me about something that I believe and I really, really want to believe, right? I really want to believe it more. And all of the black in this drawing is reminding me it's clear, it's certainty, it's clarity, it's knowing, right? And so I just love that. I love that it's right there in front of me to go back to strengthen that connection to what I believe. Love it.
I love that too. Yeah, I'm gonna hang up the one we did today, just to remind me that that real power is in my alignment and creativity combined. Ooh, it's just my favorite feeling. I don't know if you guys have these feelings. It makes sense, you know, traditionally chakra wise, but it's in my belly. It just feels like juicy, amazing wonderfulness. Yeah. So I just wanted to say the other day, one of our certified intuitive artists I was on the phone with, and she was one of the first people through the program in 2014. And she said, I can't imagine life without intuitive art. I mean, wow. And she's a therapist. And so she has tools and she's connected and she's aligned because she has to help other people be connected and aligned. And so I just really love that. I've never heard that before. People may have thought it, but they've never told me. And it was just, wow. I like it.
I've heard of art as a language,
Mm-hmm.
right? And that is a hard concept for me. And I'm someone who speaks multiple languages, who does understand that there are things that you can convey in one language that are very hard to convey in another. there's sentiments or feelings or something that have words in a language or a phrase in one language that thing doesn't exist in the other language. Like it literally doesn't translate. But that's how I feel about intuitive art, is that it's another language. And the longer I do it, like the more I understand all the nuances of that language, and I feel connected to, like, when you learn another language at first, it's just words and translations, and then it's like deep cultural meaning, and then it just has this, it has a life. And that's how I feel about intuitive art is, yeah, it's conveying, it's, I don't know how to say it. It's that in between of it. To me, it conveys, like, if I was trying to explain a phrase in Spanish that doesn't translate to English, I could use intuitive art to convey it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say.
Very cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we've been at this for an hour, and it may or may not be in 2 separate videos. I'm really not sure. So maybe we should end it here. And I don't know. I wish all of you watching, if you're still watching, so much love and peace and joy and creativity and alignment. And if you've never done intuitive art with us, go to intuitiveartclass.com for a free class where you can do the drawing that we did today. If you're already a pro, you do it all the time, or just your first time, come to our Facebook group, because we would love to see your drawing. And if you need any help decoding, Carrie and I would be happy to do a video for you.
Yeah.
Signing off from me. Carrie, any last words?
No, just we started the first part of this talking about color and bringing more color into our lives. So I think that's a place to leave, right? Is go out and be aware of it. Like, notice the colors. Imagine, this is so fun for me to do. Imagine you are, have you seen those videos of the people who they're colorblind and then they put on the corrective glasses?
No.
Oh my God, they're so great. Everyone YouTube them. It's people who are colorblind and now they have glasses to correct it, and they see like the vibrancy and colors in the world for the first time, and they are moved. Like, they are moved to tears. They're amazed. And so just, put on your glasses today and go leave this video with those glasses on, looking at the colors and the textures in the world in a whole new way.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay.
Okay, friends, we're signing off. We'll see you soon. Check out our channel for more videos. Bye.
See you later, Rachel.
Bye.